early. Hey, y'all, Robot, let's run that intro. We about to crack heads and twist caps.
And the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lekker.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Everybody saying, uh-oh, what Young finna do right now? Can y'all hear me out there? Hey, what up, Sunrise? Can y'all hear me out there? Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm about to talk to you, man. Are you really Wu'Sabat? Do you speak 3 languages fluently? If you don't, you ain't Wu'Sabat yet. Do you speak at least 3 languages? Master teacher was Wu'Sabat. He spoke more than 3 languages. Do you speak more than 3 languages fluently? Okay, we're gonna get into it though. We ain't here to attack, and then we here to really clear things up. Hey, Baba, we got this. We got this. Now it's a whole bunch of people out here. They go on saying that they Wu'Sabat, but then and they put on the uniform. They put on the uniform. They put on the black and gold. They go stand on the corner, and they propagate Wu'Sabat. And then a Christian come and with a Bible and chop them up in front of everybody. If you say you Wu'Sabat, that means that you went through all the schools. You graduated all the schools. You graduated Christianity. Keep in mind, the master teacher put books out called the degrees of Christianity, or the degrees of Islam, the degrees of this, the degrees of that, because all of it is a perspective. It's a school, right? So that means that if you say you Wu'Sabat, that means you understand the Christianity. That means that somebody, if a Christian walk up to you and start talking and what they know and believe, that means you can get down with them because you Wu'Sabat. If a Muslim walk up to you, it don't matter if they Sunni, Shia, Nation of Islam, 7 what you call it, the 5%ers. If you Wu'Sabat, you can chop it up with all those guys. You can chop it up with all those. You can chop it up on their level. Hey, shout out big bro Artum Ray. Right? You can chop it up on their level. If some Hebrew Israelites come up to you, they having a Passover right now. If some Hebrew Israelites come up to you, you can chop it up with them on whatever they chopping it up with. If you Wu'Sabat. If you Wu'Sabat, that means you a black belt, a mental black belt. Now you can go out to say you a black belt, and you can put the black and gold on, and then when somebody will walk up that's a real black belt, And then they say, oh, well, let's spar real quick. Let's see how where you at. You say you Wu'Sabat. And then they start sparring with you, like meaning holding a conversation with you. And then you say things like, oh, we didn't wear feathers over in Turtle Island. We didn't wear feathers in ancient Kemet. We didn't wear feathers, period. You say shit like that, and then you say you Wu'Sabat. I'm saying to myself, this person ain't Wu'Sabat. They're just saying it. They ain't no mental black martial art black belt. Right? Do you, if, like I said, to me, the only person that really was close to Wu'Sabat was Baba. All of us still trying to get there. We still trying to get Wu'Sabat. We hadn't got to the point where we can answer. Well, there might be a couple of you out there, but most of us ain't got to the point where we can answer every single question that they got. The master teacher stood the test of time. He used to let them line up and question them. Why? Because he was Wu'Sabat. He had all the schools. So he was able to go, when they pull out somebody came, they had the Quran. He was able to go into the Quran and tell them woo 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 woo. Somebody came with a Bible. He was able to go into that. Boom. We got to tell them woo woo woo. That's Wu'Sabat. It's you at the point where you can answer all the questions from all the schools. But it seems like to me now that it's more turn that the people that saying they Wu'Sabat they ain't really doing doing it the right way. It's turned into a religion where you go meet up every certain day, like on Sunday, like the Christians, and then you read from the Patriarchs. Then you close it up. Then you preach a sermon, collect some donations, and then send people home, and they just go home looking and saying, yeah. Then you tell them go out, spread Wu'Sabat. They just go out and it's just like another religion. They just bringing other people in to come listen to you read from the Patriarchs and bring donations. Are you really Wu'Sabat? Do you speak 3 languages fluently at least? Do you? Do you speak 3 languages fluently? Can you answer all the questions? Are you a mental martial artist? Is your mind illegal? Because you know when you become a black belt, you got to go get your hands and feet registered as an illegal weapon. When you become a professional boxer, you got to go get your hands registered as illegal weapons. So that means if you say you Wu'Sabat, that means your mind is a legal weapon at this point. You could walk around and chop anybody up, Masons, anybody. If a Mason walk up to you, you can chop him up. Or you can pick him up, take him down, whoever. If a Hebrew walk up to you, you can pick him up and take him down. You went through all the schools. But you got to keep this in mind. Just because you Wu'Sabat don't mean somebody could jump. The average person is not going to jump right up to Wu'Sabat. You know how long it takes to get to that point? You know how long it takes to get to Wu'Sabat? It takes years. Half of the people that's just coming off the streets, they not gonna be able to. A lot of people ain't gonna make it to Wu'Sabat. I'm still working on it, and I've been doing this shit for a minute. I'm still trying to become Wu'Sabat. I'm still trying to be able to answer. I don't know everything, because when you say you Wu'Sabat, that means you know everything, and then you know what that means. When you say you know everything, that means you don't need to know nothing else. Now, don't you? And then the universe cut your damn water clean off. But I know one thing, based on living, based on talking to all the old heads and taking data, they said that all the real wise guys, they said they never stop learning till they die, until they were supposedly passed. They never stop learning. So if you never stop learning, even in this life, then we really never gonna be all the way Wu'Sabat, being able to answer every single question there is. That's Wu'Sabat. But what they doing now is they bringing people straight into Wu'Sabat. They ain't giving them the other schools. They ain't giving them Christianity. They ain't giving them Islam. Some people coming out of those schools, they got it. But if you Wu'Sabat, you're supposed to be able to explain whatever school they coming out of. You're supposed to be able to explain the higher concept of that school, and then bring them into Wu'Sabat through that way. You can't just go and hit them over the head, Wu'Sabat, reading, oh yeah, this is what it is, this is what it is. Don't worry about this or that and this and that. That's, y'all sound like Christians. It's Muslims, all the rest of the religions. You see what I'm saying? Only thing that separates y'all, is certain key points. This is what's going to happen to the chosen star seed after all this. Hey man, it's a choice that's yours. You come on your own free will. A lot of you will have the choice to stay here, and a lot of you will get a choice to go back home if you want. Some of you might choose to stay to be caretakers of this blue rock. Some of you might choose to go home, back beyond the stars. What's the key points? The key points is that you at least got an indication of who Dr. York is. You know what I'm saying? Another key point is that if you really, a lot of that stuff that y'all talking about is Wu'Sabat is really nothing but it's like a synopsis of all the stuff that the master teacher was teaching over the 30 minutes that he had. Let me explain. So if you read the Patriarchs, you might see some of the same stuff in the old books. And some of the, like, it's like a synopsis. Like I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. So if now when you get to Wu'Sabat, you realize that Murdoch, Melchizedek, the angel Michael, Ra, in ancient Kemet, he becomes Ra. When you go into Wu'Sabat, he becomes Ra. But all those people are the same people. You realize that all those people are the same people. Ra, Atum, Moon, all those really the same, like in synopsis of the ancient Kemetic side. But I'm saying Murdoch, Melchizedek, Michael, El Kadush, all these are the same people. When you get down into the real paradigm, what Wu'Sabat supposed to be is the actual final paradigm of all the schools combined to one school to give you the whole puzzle. It's like the final puzzle put together. You know what I'm saying? Of all the different pieces that were brought together to make one piece, to see the whole picture. That's what Wu'Sabat was supposed to be. So the people that say Wu'Sabat supposed to have seen the whole picture and had gained the 720 degrees of perspectives. Each perspective being 33 degrees, which is why they say, oh, we 33 degrees. They got the two double-headed eagle, we could get into that. But it was supposed to be each degrees was supposed to add up to the final piece. So like if you go back for my old heads there and the people that was a part of the community and things of that nature that know about the degrees books, the Mohammedanism degrees, and these degrees books, and these 360 questions that ask a Hebrew, 360 questions that ask a Muslim, 360 questions that ask a Christian. These books were schools to get you up to Wu'Sabat. So those books play a part in Wu'Sabat, because if a Christian walk up to you and you Wu'Sabat, you should been studied the 360 questions that ask a Christian. You should have been read the Bible by now. And boom, you should have been heard all the master teacher tapes on the Christianity schools, and you should have all this information downloaded into your head to where now, when it comes down to somebody coming to you with Christianity, you will be able to either walk with them, pull them up, tear them down, however you want. You could do it however, because you are a high power alchemist in that school now. Then you'll be Wu'Sabat as far as that part. So that's what it is. Wu'Sabat, and the key, going back to the key points. Like I said, one key point is you should know, like a lot of people that know the master teacher. If you Wu'Sabat, you know the master teacher, because that's who's put it out. That's who helped. That's who built the puzzle with the help of the nation that was the people that was helping them. Right? He says back in the day, a lot of people thought Nuwapu would be the final school. No. Like Nuwapu is really a children's science. And I know a lot of my Nuwapians gonna get mad. Oh, you nigga said that. Yeah, that's what it is. Nuwapian is a children's science, and let me explain. Nuwapian is sound right reasoning. That's what you're supposed to teach kids, your children, as they grow up. The first thing they learn is sound right and reasoning. And so that's the basis of our that's the basis of becoming Wu'Sabat. Being Nuwapu or Nupu, that's the basis of becoming Wu'Sabat, right? So it's like the shit got to sound right, and you got to be able to reason with it first of all over anything. And then once we get past that part, then we could be able to begin that build that Wu'Sabat, the whole final truth based on that sound right and reasoning. So it's a children's science. And so like my son Haru and Hakeem, they knew Wapians, or they on the Nupu, because they just dealing with sound right and reasoning. They ain't really Sabats yet, because they can't really begin to understand the different inner workings of this paradigm yet, because they ain't old enough. But they learn, these little boys, they learn fast, and they pretty much they absorb, they along faster than I was as they age, put it like that, to figure out this paradigm. You see what I'm saying? But they knew they knew Wapians. They knew they just babies. They coming up. That's a baby children's science. And like I say, and that shit ain't light though. Don't sleep on the Nupu, because it ain't light, because it was getting into the Anunnaki shit, going into the extraterrestrial shit, trying to get them people into it, trying to walk them into that part. Now once you get into Wu Nawab, and like I say, some of the stuff Pops was putting out, if you go listen to the tapes when he first was getting locked up, where he was talking about, go read the Bible and pull up this strong concordance, and you'll see that these beings, these Elohims, some of them, because keep in mind, Elohim means a group of beings. So some of these group of beings, and it wasn't Enlil and them. Enlil and them didn't eat humans. Enlil and Inky them. But it was a group of Anunnakis that did eat humans, and that was the Nomos, that was Elelu and them, and these reptilians. They eat humans, right? And these serpent beings, right? They ate humans. So that's when he says, oh, go ahead, if you go into that, it says that these people were eating sand, the sands man. Bible was going into talking about this. It's the real paradigm of, damn, we were a higher level species called the Natharus, or the Najarus, or the Netarus, which is really the same thing as Elohim, Anunnaki, and the rest of it. You don't get down to it, but it's really a difference between the Natharu and the Anunnakis. The Natharus, you'll see some of them have long necks, longer noses, right? This is like I said, we working on a movie on that, talking about the Natharus, breaking the difference time. We already put so many tapes out. Like I say, a lot of people that say they Wu'Sabat, they really haven't listened to our tapes, and so they don't know. We've been teaching we taught all of it simultaneously, with the old shit and the new shit. We taught it simultaneously. If you go back and listen to the Anunnaki Chronicle tapes, all that, because everybody don't know a lot of the stuff y'all was doing, a lot of the bad shit y'all doing. The Anunnakis were doing it. The people who you call Elohim, they were doing a lot of the bad shit that you do now. They started it, especially dealing with the drugs, all the drugs. Now it depends on, everything has a good side and a bad side. Like they say, if you got it on the streets and you selling it, you a bad guy. But if you selling it in the pharmacy, you a good guy. You got to understand the good and bad paradigm here and how they played this on us, and that's part of understanding Wu Nawab. I mean, not Wu Nawab, becoming a Wu'Sabat. Pretty much is, and it's almost similar to the same thing. I'm saying that, but it's almost similar to the same thing. Part of understanding the good and bad paradigm, that everything has a good and bad side to it. You begin to understand the real reality of things, and your emotions begin to subside to where you become less emotional, and less human, pretty much, when you become really Wu'Sabat, because you understand that, hey, this shit is the gods. You start to think like a god. When you get to Wu'Sabat, you start to think like a god at that point. And that's where we was headed. That's where we've been headed. And like I said, I don't think nobody really ever all the way get there in this lifetime, because you're gonna always be learning every day. Wu'Sabat, you know everything at this point. You can answer everybody's questions. Like I said, whether they be Hebrew, Muslim, Christian, Jew, whoever. Whether they be a Mason, whether they be a Moor, because people are saying, why you study talk about the why you study mentioning Dr. Malachi Z York L and you ain't talking about Baba Yanun, because we in Baba Yanun, and really Baba Yanun is really after Wu'Sabat. It's like the last school, like it's like the last thing you find out in Wu'Sabat as far as the names. It's what they call the high name. The high name of male Ra. The high name of Ra is Yanun. That's how you say his name. And that's the high name. Once you get to Wu'Sabat, you figure out everything to them. This ain't about this. This is about us as ascended beings. And then you forget that young elder put out the Ascension Manual, which a lot of people copy, and then now so I think it's about to rot now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. The Ascension Manual. The Ascension Manual is the book that's it's part of Wu'Sabat. It's part of where we was going to get to back to the ascended beings. That's Melchizedek ascended name, Michael, Murdoch, Yanun. That's his ascended name. Just like the 23rd elder ascended name is Sananda Foon. Right? Once you started getting to these ascended names, then it's a whole bunch of other names before that before you get into that name. Right? But that's where we headed. Eventually, that's where you headed to get back to that name. But as you come into Wu'Sabat at the first beginning of it, you find out all the different names of this being. And this being is Ra. It becomes Ra. Then you find out Ptah is really Enki. Then you start to find out, okay, Hathor is really Mother Ninti. Right? So that all these people just had different names in different cultures, and they really all the same people. A lot of these storylines are just storylines that happened one time and it just repeated itself in different storylines to confuse us. But if you Wu'Sabat, you ain't confused no more. You got it down. So what I'm here to say is it's a lot of people that's walking around saying they Wu'Sabat, but they really not. You putting on a uniform, you putting on a black belt, but you ain't no black belt. And you find out you ain't no black belt when you run into a real black belt. And I'm not saying fighting physically. I'm talking about mentally, holding a mental conversation with people. Like I say, when you hold a mental conversation, when somebody say they Wu'Sabat, and you hold a mental conversation with them, and they say that we didn't wear feathers as Native Americans over here, we didn't wear feathers, period. When you can go right over in ancient Kemet and see Shu with a feather in his head and Ma'at with a feather in her head, and Africans walking around for the Dagongs and all these other tribes with feathers on, but we didn't never wear feathers. And then you say, oh yeah, this person ain't Wu'Sabat. Because first of all, somebody that's Wu'Sabat really will never disagree with people. They'll just give them a perspective. You never disagree. Well, you don't disagree with people because you understand people are on certain levels of schools and they looking from certain angles, like this box, right? On this side, like if I showed you this side, right? You say, okay, it's clear on this side, but I'm telling you it's some paper on this side, but you can't see that. I can see the paper on this side, but you only can see one perspective from this side. So when you come in telling somebody, oh, this and that, and this ain't that, and you need to stop doing this and that, you only give them this one perspective. But then you turn to the other side, you'll see, oh yeah, there really is paper on this side. I didn't see it though until I walked around to the other side. So it's perspectives, it's angles. That's why everybody always got their own angle. They either got an angle where they coming at you at Christianity, they got an angle they coming at you as a Muslim. Everybody got their own angle. They coming to sell you something. Come to sell you they God. Whether it be Allah, Buddha, they got a list of gods. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, hey, I didn't see your question, Tefray. I didn't see your question. So I'm looking at the chat, but like it's going fast. He says, that the young elder, you mixing a lot of. Hey, so what you think I'm mixing up? Go ahead. He says you sound. You say I sound Muslim? I don't get what he's saying. What's your question, Tefray? I didn't see, like the comments going fast. We'll take questions. We ain't in no rush. So are you Wu'Sabat, Tefre? Are you Wu'Sabat? Can you speak three? Can you speak at least 3 languages fluently? I can't speak 3 languages fluently. Now I know a shitload of words, like in different languages, like through listening to the master teacher. Like I know like a lot of Arabic words, a lot of Hebrew words, and just not just listen to the master teacher. Like when he would say a word, they would entice me to go study and look up other things, and just learned a lot just off of just the research of just tracing behind the master teacher. I learned a lot of Hebrew words, Arabic words, and I speak I can't say I'm fluent in Spanish, but I can get around with Spanish because I lived in Mexico for a while, and I lived in Dallas around the Mexicans a lot, and Spanish was an easier language to learn. Hey, if you're in high school right now, if you're in high school, young people, if you're watching, you in high school, take Spanish, man. Take a language. Take a language class. If you're in high school, man, take a language class. That'll be one step to getting you Wu'Sabat. So if they giving Spanish 1, 2, and 3, 4, take all of them. If they give in Arabic 1, take all the classes as language classes. If you're still in high school and you got a chance. If they got a piano class, take piano. Cause you can make money $800 a day playing the piano. I know niggas that make $3,000 a Sunday playing the piano, and they get that as a class in high school. Really, you can get out of high school as a supreme hustler if you know what you're doing, because you get paid extra $3-4 on every job for just having one extra language. Now think about this: say if you spoke 2 languages when you got out of high school, when you go get a job, you automatically gonna get a $4 raise on that job or that job, right? We can get into it if you really Wu'Sabat, right? We can get into it. But like I'm saying, I'm just making it for example for people that's listening. You're gonna get paid $4 extra on that job just because you speak 2 extra languages. I'm telling you, man. So what's your question, Tefre? Did he get out of here? We're waiting on Tefre. Yeah, WooNet niggas got something. Hey, Sunrise. Once they get to WooNet to rule, it's gonna be something else. Cause like I said, if Wu'Sabat is the end, then like I say, I don't know, because if you're gonna be learning stuff till you die. Like old people will tell you that. I mean, I'm still learning. People learn until they get up out of here. So we never gonna. It's like you almost never gonna make it to where you know everything. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna be learning. And once you think that you don't, ain't got to learn nothing else, and you know everything. And like I said, that's when the universe cut your water off. So yeah, well, you know everything. Well, your ass just don't need to know nothing else now, don't you? And boom, your ass go blank and you fade right out. You won't know nothing else. I'm telling you, man. Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I'm waiting on Tap Ray to say. He said, let's see what he talking about, man. We ain't running for nothing. We students of the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z York. We take all questions. And keep in mind, like I said, this is my opinion, my perspective. Like what I say ain't the final. Oh yeah, nigga, that young elder said it, so that's it. Nah, nigga, you your own God. When you Wu'Sabat, you your own God. You your own man. You can set up your own organization, your own whatever. You your own people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got it by now. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Everybody, it's a group of people. They waiting on somebody to come back and save them. When the help is at the end of their own hands. The Messiah is at the end of their own hands. You helping your goddamn everybody that's listening. Your own Messiah. You're supposed to be saving people around you and lifting them up like you. You feel me? So like I said, if you say you Wu'Sabat, that means you speak 3 different languages. That means you could almost damn near quote the Quran and in the Bible word for word almost. You don't gotta necessarily quote it word for word, but you know a lot of quotes out of that bitch, and you can say the actual verse that it come from, like the master teacher. The master teacher Wu'Sabat. And in the black book is Wu'Sabat. We got the black book on the cover. That's the start of it. Wu'Sabat. Atun Ray. The Ferti Atun Ray. That's the start of it. Okay. Do you know? Nah, I never heard of but the name The name looks like, if that's a Meti, if that's a Caucasian lady, then she Ashtar Command. Her name got the like Ash Nana. Yeah, that sounds like Ashtar Command. Is she a Nubian or and like I say, when I say Caucasian, you got to keep in mind not everybody that looks like white, what you calling white, really is not a stat. It's really status. Everybody that you calling white is not really white. Check their blood type. Most of them got O blood type. They really Anunnakis, albinos. So she's Caucasian. All right, well, hey, that explains everything. Ashtar Command. Now go run tell that. I bet her hair might be blonde or white. I bet you. She Ashtar Command. Is her hair blonde or white? But you go look up. As soon as you see the picture, oh yeah, that's Ashtar Command. Now, yeah, if you're just not coming in, man, like we say, we ain't want to hold you long. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here to preach to you. We ain't no preachers. And I like this chick told me, oh yeah, well, see, the Bible said, how can't you hear without a preacher? Man, we don't want no more preachers. The preacher just doing, the preacher is wasting his time now. It was some of them that was some good ones. So it's just some good spiritual ones out here that can lift you up and give you that energy, that what they call the Holy Ghost. Right? The Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? It's Ashtar Command dancing with the devil. Yeah, you damn sure right. Ashtar Command get in bed with whoever that's down with their agenda. They in with Lucifer. They was in, so they say they down with us at one point. Oh yeah, we down with y'all. And then like with Ashtar, because you gotta keep in mind, Ashtar Command is not she ran them. She ran them as Ashtar Command, but they the airborne regiment. The real Ashtar Command is Hatan, the Nomos beings from Cyrus B. And they came here and fought against the Anunnakis to help the Natharus out. That's what we get into this Wu'Sabat, right? Let's talk about that. All right, so at one point, if you study the Holy Tablets, the Nomos and Hatan, who was a reptilian leader of these Nomos, Nubaru passed by their star and drained it out. Cyrus B, to make a long story short. That made them mad. They followed Nubaru here. Boom. When they got here, they saw what was happening. They said, man, we're gonna help these humans turn against these Anunnakis. So they were one fraction of them. They were part of them Gigis, one fraction of them. These beings that lived in the sky that came down. Or that stayed hovering above, then came down. And once they came down, boom, they wasn't the Gigis no more. But and it's two different fractions of them. It's the 200, well, it was 300, then 200 came down to Murdoch's wedding. But then I'm talking about the Nomos fraction. At one point, they chose to fight these other beings, reptilians and other beings, to help the humans, and then they turned on the humans. So these are what you call neutral beings. See, a lot of y'all that say y'all Wu'Sabat, y'all missed the school. It's called mid-formation. I'm telling you, you missed that school called mid-formation. That's why y'all gone dormant and you really ain't popping like that. Like what people listening, it just sound like robotic, like Sabat, sound like cyberbots. It don't sound like Wu'Sabat, right? Because it's a lot of shit to be Wu'Sabat, man. It's a lot. You gotta have charismatics. You gotta have the gab. So I'm talking about to get up and speak as a Wu'Sabat. Like to be Wu'Sabat, you don't gotta necessarily know how to speak with all that, but just to have having the knowledge. But then to be a Wu'Sabat teacher, you gotta have it's a lot of shit you gotta have to be that. That's a big shoes to fill. For my guys that's up saying that they Wu'Sabat and they trying to teach it. That's big shoes to fill. Most of those guys they let teach it though, some of them be mostly handpicked. Because they're trying to neutralize us. They ain't out to fucking help us. I'm not talking about the my Sabine brothers that's probably, I'm talking about the killer clowns. The killer clowns is monitoring us and they don't want us to, anytime they see us doing anything that possibly gonna get us somewhere, They in on it to try to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, like I appreciate that, Scribe. Yeah, I got 8 books that's written by the young elder, and when you get those books, you'll see that I gave dedication to the master teacher in all those books for the people that's out here hating on me because I went out and wrote me some books and they didn't. If I'm a student of the master teacher, why wouldn't I write books? Why would I try to be like he's like a example? The master teacher was the example for us. He led by example. So why wouldn't we follow to write books? Why wouldn't we follow to try to do all the stuff that he was doing? Like I said, it's gonna be a lot. Like I said, the master teacher is the only person I really can say truly is Wu'Sabat. Can answer everybody's questions. He spoke more than 3 languages fluently. He didn't just put on a uniform or put on a fez and walk around like he know what more science. No, he knew more science. He didn't just put on certain type of garment and certain types of symbols that he didn't know the inner workings of and the science behind it. Niggas putting on symbols. They putting on a double ankh. They putting on all these symbols, right? And they don't really know the true meaning of what that really means. It just got it on to look cool because everybody else wearing it. That when you put that shit on, that means you a black belt in mental martial arts. When you put the double ankh on, when you put the black and gold on, that means you a black belt. That means if motherfucker walk up to you at this point, you can answer all their questions. And they'll leave there with their head cracked. They'll leave there with their cap twisted back every time they come in contact with you. And ain't no Christian finna walk up on the corner to somebody that's Wu'Sabat and not leave there damn near saying, damn, I want to put this Bible. Like, I don't know about this Bible. But the Bible cool, but this had to be more to it or something. After this Wu'Sabat guy that ran into me. You see? Hey, well, like I say, everybody got their own perspective. Me, I don't diss them. I don't diss the Potter Rocks. I just said like I wasn't feeling them. I don't diss them because it's perspectives. It's like I say, like looking at this angle, you might say, oh yeah, it don't got. I'm telling you, there's some paper on this other side. You might say it's not because you can't see it. But then we turn it to this side, you see there's paper on this side. So it's kind of sort of like that thing. So some people can read the Potter Rocks and they might get, it just depends. But like I say, it's not fair for somebody to snatch a baby right into Wu'Sabat without giving them new Wapu first. Sound, right, and reasoning. The foundation of Wu'Sabat is sound, right, and reasoning. Do that shit sound right? Can I reason them with it? Then if we can sound right and I can reason them with it, now I can go to the next step. I can begin building on. Now I got a foundation. Now I got something to stand on. Because you're supposed to be able to stand on actual facts. But let me tell you something about this. That's a difference between facts and truth. And we're going to leave you on this right here. There's a difference between facts and truth. Facts is subject to change. So you shouldn't have called it actual facts. Should have called it actual truth. Because facts is subject to change. Like it could be a fact that it's raining outside right now. But then that could change. It could be a fact that the sun is out now. But that could change. It could be a fact that it's cold outside right now. But that could change. That fact could change. So facts are subject to change. While the truth is not. The truth will always stay the same. Trust and believe. So yeah, take that, run with that. You know what I'm saying? Young ain't here to be a God. The master teacher made all of us gods. That was the purpose. The mission really was over in 1997 when he did the Osiris procession. He had already put out enough information for us to get to where we needed to go, to get to Wu'Sabat. What you witnessing now, I believe, with the Potter Rocks is where they went, got all like the highlight key points of shit that master teacher put out and made it into a book and then put that out and say, okay, this is the Potter Rocks. But then we, you know what I'm saying, we have reason to believe that some stuff we left out, maybe, but it's like just opinion on that, really. You go read them for yourself and you be the judge. That's what I say. at this point, since people want to say, oh yeah, he's trying to stop us from making money. Nah, go ahead, make your money on the pot to rocks, my brother. It's like but don't go out to say, oh yeah, the master teacher wrote this 100%, ain't nothing wrong, it's never been tampered with. You sound just like the niggas that did the Quran and the Bible. All them books were messed with. I'm gonna tell you something. Even the holy tablets had got messed with because Bible had sent it to Texas. This is what an old head told me that was on the land because I wasn't there. And you other old heads that was there maybe could vouch for me when I take vouch for this old head that said this. He said that they sent the holy tablets off to Texas to get it mass printed, and when they came back, they had tampered with stuff, the dates, and moved stuff around. And so Bible, like, man, so they tampered with, he just gave all of them out for free. So they was even tampering with Bible. The killer clutch, the killer clowns was even tampering with Bible books when he was out of jail. So what you think the hell they did when he went to jail? Come on, man. They were tapping with his shit while he was out. Huh? I mean, we should be intelligent enough to say certain things, like to say, okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. You know, that sound right at this point. That's new Wapu. Hey, you say, have I read the holy tablets? Shit, that's you asking the wrong guy. It must be a trick question. Hey, like I say, if you want to read the holy tablets for the guys that's newcomers and the guys that don't know, if in this description and the links in this class, you can click the descriptions and scroll all the way down, and you can read the holy tablets for free by the master teacher in the links in the descriptions. So we got that posted already. You can read the descriptions. I say it must be a trick. Yeah, okay, Uncle, that must be a trick question, man. The holy tablets, nigga, that's my favorite book. Besides the Man from Planet Red. See, my thing was the extraterrestrial shit. So if you go look, we got 444 tapes out on extraterrestrials. We talk about the feline beings, the grays, the Dewanies, the Terus, the coneheads, right? The Derus, the great Nomos, the Reptilians, the Dragonians, the plant beings, different types of beings, right? The Anunnakis. We got plenty of tapes on the Anunnakis. We broke the paradigm down called the Anunnakis to Natharus, where we break down on who becomes who. Like we say, Hathor becomes Mother Ninti becomes Hathor in ancient Kemet. Murdoch becomes Ra, Amen, Antun. Those three positions of the sun. Right, so we got tapes out on that on the live side. Like I say, people that say they Wu'Sabat, they ain't been listening to our tapes. That's why they say that, oh yeah, well, he ain't teaching Wu'Sabat because they hadn't listened to none of my tapes. They only really listen to some of the tape, the recent tapes, just so they can find something that I said wrong, so they can go back to use that to discredit me. You know what I'm saying? This type of people we're dealing with. Real live black devils. For real, for real. And like I say, if you're a Sabine, from a Muslim perspective, Muslims don't they go against the Sabines. Why? Because in the Quran, it said that Queen Sheba was a damn sun worshiper. Now we know that in ancient Kemet, we didn't worship the sun like they putting it, but it's most science behind it. But we can get into that. But in the school of Islam, it teaches you to be against the ancient Egyptians. Say that the Sabines were sun worshipers and they worshiped the devil and they were following the 200 fallen and all this. When you go into Islam, which is just the school, then if you get out of Islam, then you go into being a Sabine. But the Muslims can come up to try to attack you, and if you ain't had the school of Islam, you won't be able to defend yourself. They'll beat you down. And you talking about you Wu'Sabat. You on the corner, and the Muslim really know the Arabic and really know the Quran, chop you up if you say you a Sabine and you don't really know what you're talking about. You got that, you got the uniform on. Yeah, you look cool, you look good, but what's up in your brain? What's up in your head? Are you Wu'Sabat? Can you speak 3 languages fluently at least? Arabic and another language, including English. That's all I'm saying. We ain't out here to beat up nobody. We out here to give you a wake-up call. So you people that's walking around with our uniform on saying you Wu'Sabat. I'm not even Wu'Sabat yet. I still got a lot to learn. I'm still learning every day. I'm learning from FaZe. I'm learning from everybody. I'm learning from my son, Hakeem. I'm learning every day. Oh yeah, like I say, I got 8 books out by the young elder. If you want to get those books, send me a hey, we'll do 45. If you we'll do 40, we're doing $50 donation. If you want to show up some love extra, that's cool too. And leave your emails in the links. We'll send you all 8 books. The Ascension Manual is the #1 book right now that's going out because, like I say, the Ascension Manual is part of us getting back to knowing the high names. Like I say, Yah, Noon, that's the ascended name. Going back to that, that's the end part that we was headed back to. But like I said, I got those 8 books, and some of those books are real thick. Like some of them, like 4 of those books are real thick, like the Ascension Manual, the book of extraterrestrials, where I break down like about maybe about 600 different extraterrestrial groups in the book of extraterrestrial, like and some of it in more detail of their whole story, like their whole way they come about in the book of extraterrestrial volume 1. And I'm working on volume 2 right now. The dream scroll is you probably get, the dream scroll probably like 100 and some pages, and the Galactic Family of Life book is probably like about 200 some pages. But the Scroll of Eyes is a thick ass book. You're gonna take you a while to read that. The Scroll of Eyes break down just straight alchemy, and really it breaks down. It's part of Wu'Sabat too, because it breaks down it begins to break down the real truth about like what was happening. Like when you go into the story of Jesus, I put out a tape called "Was Jesus doing alchemy or was he doing miracles?" Now it depends on perspectives, because Bodie gave me some shit. He's like, because I said that, oh yeah, Jesus is doing alchemy. Then Bodie called me and said, can you break down the word mirror? What does the word mirror mean? It means fire in the middle. So he said, when Jesus using this, we get into, he said, was Jesus using this fire in the middle when he was doing this miracle? I was like, yeah, that shit's fire. You know what I'm saying? Bodie be having some shit, right? And he dropped that on me though about the mirror, right? The fire in the middle. But like I say, on that tape, I dropped, was Jesus doing alchemy or was he performing miracles? When Jesus turned water into wine, that's what you call moonshining. That's what you call moonshining, right? So that's alchemy. That's chemistry. So Jesus was doing chemistry when he did the water and the wine. He was doing moonshining. In ancient Kemet, we was doing this. Keep in mind, if you study the Bible, for all my Wu'Sabat guys, I already know all this. I'm preaching to the choir. I'm talking about my Christianity guys. Jesus went to ancient Kemet and learned how to make beer. And then he came back and did it amongst his people who didn't know this, who didn't go to college or who didn't go to the schools, go through all the schools, right? He came back and turned water into wine. They say, oh, he did a miracle. But in ancient Kemet, the average guy would have said, oh, no, that ain't a miracle. He just turned water. He just brewed some beer. Or he performed alchemy or chemistry and just made wine. It wasn't no halal, like wild thing in ancient Kemet, because everybody could do it. A lot of niggas could turn water into wine in ancient Kemet. And you don't believe me? Go back in the Bible when Moses came back and threw his staff down and turned it into a snake. Pharaoh called other niggas to do the same exact move. So they must have been studying the same type of teachings or doctrine in ancient Kemet, where a lot of people knew these same magic tricks. That's what when you get to Wu'Sabat, that's what you begin to understand. You begin to understand, okay, all right, you begin to see the perspectives. You begin to see this information for the whole totality, the end puzzle, the end piece, not the last paradigm, but a paradigm to get you to where, hey, you pretty much free at this point mentally. You a black belt. So don't walk around without a uniform on and put out double unk on and put out all this on and then say you Sabine or you Wu'Sabat, and then somebody, an average Christian, walk up and chop you up in front of everybody. Now you make us, now every Sabine is got chopped up because you one Sabine that got chopped up because you say you was a Sabine, but you really wasn't. You just had our uniform on and you got chopped up by some nigga in front of everybody. Now all of us got chopped up because you got chopped up. So remember, when you put that uniform on, you become one with everybody else that got it on. And we all represent each other. That part. And like I say, this tape, a lot of this stuff on this tape that's being said is coming from Baba in the mind mill. For those who sincere, they'll hear it. They'll know. You know, that's all I'm telling you. So don't go around pretending to be one of us. You gotta get there. It's gonna take you a while. It's like I say, I ain't even all the way there yet. I'm still learning. I'm still got room to grow. Don't be no pretender. Don't pretend like you can play the piano and then we tell you to get up there and play it and you can't play a lick. Because we're gonna Sandman your ass right off stage, just like at the Apollo. Huh? We'll boo your ass right off stage. You know what I'm saying? Nubians will boo you off stage, man. Boo! Get him off stage. You know what I'm saying? Tell you, man. Shit is real. So yeah, spread the word. And it's all love to you all throughout the balanced universe. We out. Wadu.